When we last left the Hage family saga, Wayne Hage Sr., who'd been clashing with the government since soon after he bought Pine Creek Ranch in 1978, had died. So it turned out Wayne Jr.'s birthright wasn't just the ranch, but the struggle to keep it. John Roberts tells us the amazing story of the degrees to which he went to save the ranch.
In 2006, it was Wayne Hage Jr.'s turn to fight the battle that had taken up over a quarter century of his father's life. In fact, he soon had a new case to deal with, because Wayne Sr. in his final years had gradually built up a new herd of cattle, but still didn't have a grazing permit. This time, however, when the government threatened to impound more of the Hages' livestock, there was a new sheriff in town. Literally.
I was informed by my deputies that they're going to do a cattle seizure.
Tony DeMeo has been sheriff of Nye County, Nevada since 2003.
They didn't have a court order, and they were just doing on a signature of a bureaucrat within the BLM. And I told them, I said, if you get your SWAT team, we'll be facing our SWAT team on the property of Mr. Wayne Hage to prevent you from doing any unlawful seizure.
Why did Tony DeMeo want to put himself between the federal government and the Hages?
Because it was illegal. It was wrong.
The feds gave up on the idea of seizing more of Hages' cattle. But in 2007, they did file a civil trespass suit against Wayne Jr. and his father's estate. With that case pending, along with the one his father filed against the government years before, the legal bills were adding up. Wayne Jr. couldn't afford to pay lawyers and keep the ranch afloat.
You decided to go to law school of a form to represent yourself.
And I knew at that point in time how much attorneys cost, so I figured it was cheaper for me to learn the law than it was to hire an attorney. I had to quit ranching and to lock myself in my office and devote myself full-time to the litigation.
Your sister Ramona summarized the court action this way: 13 trial weeks, 100-plus depositions, 50 case file boxes, 47,000 pages of documents, and 1,230 trial exhibits. Do you feel like your life has become a courtroom drama?
There's certain times it does feel like it, yes.
On June 6, 2008, the Court of Federal Claims, established to hear monetary claims against the U.S. government, ruled on the case first brought by Wayne Hage Sr. almost 17 years earlier. The family prevailed. Judge Lauren Smith awarded the Hage estate more than $4 million, plus another $10 million in interest and attorney's fees. The trespass case, already a year into litigation, would take almost 5 more to sort out. On May 24, 2013, the Hages won another victory. Chief Judge Robert C. Jones of the U.S. District Court in Nevada filed this 104-page ruling, ordering the government to renew their permits. He also found that the government pressured Hage business associates not to do business with them, and that officials conspired to deprive the Hages of their vested water rights.
The judge said some of the things that were done by agents of the Bureau of Land Management and the U.S. Forest Service shocked the conscience of the court.
He said that several times, that it shocked the conscience of the court, and that it shocked his own.
The court did find instances where the Hages willfully allowed cattle to wander onto unpermitted federal lands. The cost of the damage? $165.88. It was a long-awaited vindication and a historic ruling for all Western ranchers fighting for property rights. Even though the Hages won back their rights, they still haven't had their permits renewed. Meanwhile, the U.S. is appealing the case.
Do you have any reason to believe that they'll back off?
I don't think they'll back off. I asked the Department of Justice attorney. I said, are you interested in settling the case? And he said, no, we always win at the Ninth Circuit. That's our court, and we'll reverse this.
In addition, the Hages haven't seen a dime of the $14 million they were awarded in 2008. In fact, in that case, if the latest court ruling stands, they never will.
We had hoped to talk to the U.S. Forest Service about all of this to get its side of the story, but they wouldn't talk to Fox News, citing pending litigation.
The Bureau of Land Management sent a statement saying, quote, since the appeals process is ongoing, the BLM will not engage in conversations that could affect the outcome. The BLM will respond to questions once litigation concludes. The U.S. Department of Justice also declined our interview requests.
The Subcommittee on Public Lands and Environmental Regulations is meeting today to hear testimony on threats, intimidation, and bullying by federal land managing agencies.
In late October 2013, Wayne Hage and a group of fellow ranchers testified before Congress.
Now, I'm probably going to get retribution for just even being here and talking to you about this. Stories that make the hair stand on the back of your neck. They're never held accountable. Now, in our case, they were supposed to be held accountable.
Perhaps the hearing will lead to congressional action on regulatory relief. But until then, Wayne Hage Jr. continues the decades-long fight he inherited from his father.
Go back to the time when your dad was considering buying the Pine Creek Ranch. What would you say to him?
I'd say buy it.
Really?
Never ask for an easy life. Just ask for the strength to get through it. Yeah, I'd do it again.
So we've seen 4 examples in which private citizens had trouble with the federal government. In each of our examples, the government had its side of the story, but to the people we talked to, it wasn't a fair fight. The truth is our government is so big and there are so many laws that there's barely a citizen who isn't breaking or stretching some regulation somewhere. And that means most any public official with the inclination has the capacity to make you jump through hoops in ways no one else can. Part of the social contract is we vote for our leaders and then cede them the power to enforce and make the rules. And thus, it's essential that this tremendous power never be used for ideological or personal purposes. Ideally, the government should fear the people, not the other way around. Because when those roles are reversed, suddenly more and more citizens start feeling like enemies of the state. That's our program for tonight. Thanks for watching.